can go through the camera now. What you can do for your Hempfest.
We got to call them on their BS, like Dominic was talking about calling these reporters on their BS. We had when we did the Million Marijuana March in Portland, we all meet there at like 11 in the morning, and then we march at noon. Been doing it 9 years in a row, always on time. Always on time. So the line that they have in the weekly, the Willamette Week, as the supporters of marijuana groggily gathered in the square, like there are little things like that, these little adjectives that they'll throw in, or there's always the pun, there's always the headline pun, their plans went up in smoke.
Well, my daddy was a gambler, my mama was a saint, and every time I got the chance, I just walked that highway pain home. I was troubled. Mama said that's okay. That's okay, son, that's okay. But I know the things that I have done, are gonna bother her to the third day.
Wonderful. No, I'm taking it away.
All of you are potential spokespeople outside of Hempfest. Hempfest is just a pep rally. We're preaching to the choir here.
How do we get the choir to sing?
Well, it's an enormous crowd that was here yesterday, and I'm sure it's going to be today too. I think what the message they have to get is, it's not enough just to get high. Most of the people coming get high. They've got to get active politically. Now they don't have to dedicate their whole life to it, but they have to be willing to take a few minutes to contact their elected officials. If they can, they have to come out of the closet so that elected officials realize that there are millions of us, good, middle class, mainstream citizens who smoke marijuana. And as long as we're in the closet, we cannot get our rights. So the message for all these people is, have a good time. It's a wonderful event. I enjoy it thoroughly. But don't go home and just say, hey, that was fun. Go home and get off the sofa and get involved in this thing. We can legalize marijuana, but it's not going to happen for us. We're going to have to do it ourselves.
Come register to vote today. You got the balls to smoke it. Vote.
Because we really don't want anybody to get dehydrated. We've had apparently, I was just talking to First Aid, they said they had about 8 cases of people that have passed out from heat exhaustion today. So please, drink water, put on sunscreen, move to the shade if you start feeling a little bit giddy and you're not sure why. If you are sure why, just go with it.
Girls banner. But we're not asking for free
cannabis. We're not asking the government to take over the production and distribution of cannabis. That's where we've been wrong in the past. We're asking for the right to use it, the right to produce it, and the right to access it. Those are negative obligations. We're just asking them not to arrest us, nothing more.
I have been very disappointed with the Department of Health's stance. I think you have taken a stance that's based primarily in politics and not science. This is a medicine. This is a legitimate medicine. It's been used for thousands of years as medicine. It was used in the United States up until 1937 when it was taken off the U.S. pharmacopoeia, primarily, in my opinion, for political and actually discriminatory purposes.
Just outside of Mexico City. He does reggae, hip-hop. I encourage you to join in, please put your hands together for Humble. Ladies and gentlemen, from Mexico City, huh? Everybody for me here. I was like, oh my God.
Seattle Hempfest 2008.
Sorry about that. It happens. Thanks, guys. Have a great set.
Alternative news and alternative media is shaping mainstream media. They talk about newspapers and the evening news on TV as being a dinosaur and a dying medium. It's not a dying medium, it's here to stay, but it's going to undergo a metamorphosis guided and directed by alternative news outlets and blogs and folks like us who are not beholden to petrochemical companies and pharmaceutical companies and beer companies. So there is hope. We're going to fly like a butterfly together.
We've got 100,000 people getting ready to smoke pot in the middle of a downtown park in the United States of America.
I can't even see the back of you guys! Hell yeah!
Well, the pamphlet is how to use cannabis responsibly and safely, which is from the Cannabis Consumers Campaign that looks at a couple of different things. One is about the relative risk of smoking cannabis, eating it, and other means of ingestion. And the other thing being the questions about how to stay out of trouble when you're a cannabis user. So it got a twofold meaning. And the other thing I'm passing out today is the West Coast Leaf, which I don't know if you can see that here, but it's this is a newspaper that my wife and I publish. I'm Chris Conrad, she's Mickey Norris, and we're in California, but we cover the West Coast and the world with straight news reporting about cannabis. And we're not using the kind of the glamorous magazine sort of look, which is fine, but we just want people to have the straight news. And so I invite everybody to come to our website, westcoastleaf.com.
Can we serve that?
Novice agriculturalists will produce 1 to 2 ounces of flowering tops per plant, whereas experienced landscapers may produce up to 1 pound. The 1 to 2 ounces is much more the norm. 2 to 4 ounces can frequently be obtained once a person has a certain amount of experience. Also, most people who grow outdoors, the cannabis is harvested once a year. So if they're using 6 pounds a year, they need to be able to have 6 pounds at harvest time.
They're great parents, and when the kids paddle off to bed, they open up a joint and share it and listen to some good music. It's just a rhythm of life there. It's, as I say, in Europe, a joint is about as exciting as a can of beer. It's just, if you choose to enjoy a joint as a responsible adult, it is a civil liberty. In fact, statistically, by every measure, in America, we smoke twice per capita what the Dutch smoke, who are so famous for being easygoing on marijuana. There's only one country in Europe that smokes more pot per capita than the United States, and that's the Czech Republic.
Down the choke, crush the wheat and roll it up, roll it up. Some of that bomb stuff, pass it like so I can fire it up, fire it up, fire it up. Get stuff, yeah, crush the wheat and roll it up, roll it up, roll it up. Some of that bomb stuff, pass it like so I can fire it up, fire it up, fire it up. And get stuff, hold up and just wait a minute.
There's fear everywhere, and it's every time there's fear, I think it's people using it as a tool against us. And as a society, we're pretty naive and gullible about this. And we've got to stand up to fear and say that's baloney. I'm lucky I've traveled, and I don't get scared quite as easy as a lot of people who can think it's dangerous when it's really not.
Happy Hempfest. All right. Show your Hempfest.